waiting. We can always leave them wanting a little bit more. Yards after the catch. Let's go, guys.
Uh-oh, Chris, you got to put your mic on.
There it is. See, I had this great intro going. All that. What's going on, everybody? It's Tuesday night. You missed the best intro in the world and never get it back. What's going on, guys? It's Tuesday night. Yards after the catch, 8:30 Eastern every Tuesday live. You guys join us right away. Hop on in. Let's get to your questions. Before we start talking, first of all, I got to say hi to the greatest co-host in all the land, Mr. Roop. There it is. How's it going, Roop?
Let's see. The other day I woke up at 2 a.m. thinking about all my drafts that I have to take care of,
Oh my God.
and
Who are you
I
telling?
couldn't get back to sleep. So I just started drafting from like 3 to 5 a.m. So one after another. I was like, I can't sleep. I might as well because I got 4 drafts coming up in the next week. And I was thinking it's been stressing me out. It's not work. It's not anything else. There's nothing going on. Just that was bothering me. So I tried to take care of it. And yeah, I like some of the drafts, but I was a little concerned with some of them. So I was like, I know it's too soon. Mock drafts, you can't believe the computer, but it was bothering me just a little bit. But other than that, I'm pretty good. How about yourself?
Too soon? Is it too soon? Man,
Mm-hmm.
let me tell you something. Let me tell you what's keeping me up at night. In 1 week, literally 1 week, next Tuesday, the trenches holds the draft. That means in just 9 simple days is a premiere of the trenches. All right. On on the channel. You don't get the full thing yet. You got to be a subscriber. Then you can go in, catch the draft, see how that went down. But 12 days from now, so I think it's 12 days from now, is actually when we'll record the first episode. What do we, I think, how many days to the season? Is it 21, 22 now? 21. 21 till the season
Yes.
starts. That's
Check.
it, man. Holy cow. Are you freaking kidding me? Like, the NFL season is right around the corner. That means the trenches is right around the corner. 12 teams, one $5,000 prize. Someone's going to win it. Only one person's going to win it, and you're going to get to watch it all. Go over to the channel, go over to the website in the next couple days, and you'll get to start meeting the contestants. You're not going to believe who's there. It's going to be crazy. The trenches is going to be a ride, and you get to go along with it. Lots of cool stuff, lots of ways for you to be involved. Go check out the trenches. Whew. Wow.
Yeah.
Trenches, man.
How's it going, Aurora? What's going on?
Hey, Aurora's back. Wait, big surprise. Aurora's always here. We love Aurora.
That's why
Thanks,
she won
Aurora.
one of her leagues last year. She took some of our advice and put it into play, and she ended up winning. So shout out to
Take
her.
a drink of the frosty beverage for that. That's in
Yeah,
your honor, Aurora.
that's
Absolutely.
for you. Yeah.
100%. So we got more of that coming. College football is right around the corner. I think we're going to bring college chaos back, right? You're gonna bring us college chaos this year.
I'm really looking forward to college chaos because I'm going to start it at the beginning of the year where I'm really ready to just start hoping for some upsets.
Yeah.
But it's looking pretty sketchy. Like so many teams lost a lot of good players, so I'm going to look real dumb probably to start off. But you know what? I challenge anyone and anyone out there that they want to come over and see if you can pick a few upsets yourself and challenge me every week. Maybe I'll give you a prize at the end of the year if you can beat my stats, of course.
Oh, can you beat Roop in his college predictions? College chaos. It starts next week, right? That'll start on the show next week.
Yeah, but there's really not too much, isn't it? Yeah. Saturday the 3rd, September 3rd is when all the games start kicking off. So,
Okay.
but yeah.
But we can maybe do a little preview. Nick Saban taking down a huge paycheck. But you guys want to talk NFL. I know that's what you guys want to talk about right now. We'll get into the college chaos. We're going to save a little bit for you. College chaos coming up in full swing, 2 weeks. Watch Roop. There it is. Just destroy the predictions in college football. And you can define destroy however you want to.
Or my reputation. One of the two. One of them's going down.
Hey, welcome to the show, everybody. If you got questions, we got answers. Just post them up in a thing. If you want to join us, we got the little thing up there, the web address. Just type that HTTPS address into your thing. You'll pop up on our screen. You can come live on the show. We don't care. We'll answer your questions. If you type them in, we'll answer your question. You can come on live and talk to us. Andrew's already in the room. He wants some good advice for a completely unrelated competition that he may or may not be in. We were talking about the trenches earlier. I don't know if Andrew's referring to that he may or may not be in. You'll have to go check the channel out in the next coming days and see if he pops up on it. Let us know what your questions are. We'll help you out the best we can. Just kidding. He wants to stop in and show some love. That's fine too. He says, I have no questions. He said, I've got it handled. He said, I'm good. I don't need nothing. I got this all locked down. That's cool too, Andrew.
Already won his league, I see.
Already won it. Hey, how many people out there have drafted already? Raise your hand. Guilty as charged. Yeah, like an actual
dynasty, but it's fine.
Yeah, well, a dynasty makes a little more sense, right? But we really should not be admitting to drafting already because it's too soon. We're getting down to the last little bit of the preseason. The starters are actually coming. Breece Hall was in there like 3/4 the other day. Like, are you like, what are you doing? I know he's just a rookie, but geez Louise, he's going to be your guy this year. And yeah, sure. Let him play 3/4 so he can blow something out. Thanks for calling us cute, Jordan. We appreciate that. We try to be. Jordan's drafted like 10 leagues already. Okay. Yeah, I said you shouldn't admit to it. See, if you hadn't said anything, no one would have known except those 10 leagues.
I mock drafted like 50, but whatever.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Don't give me no mock draft.
I don't believe the computers. I don't like it. I can't draft for real.
The thing it says Jordan Thomas, Breece Hall, or Travis Etienne. What's funny? Okay. Before we answer that question, that is such a big question. I keep seeing, and we can get into this too, Hurts or Tua, and I keep seeing Breece or Travis. And it's funny that it's not funny. It's an absolutely logical comparison because Travis still hasn't played in a game, but obviously this is Travis' second year coming off an injury. Breece hasn't been injured yet. Both of them playing for questionable offenses. But what do you say in the Breece Etienne debate?
Yeah, I'll agree with Jordan Thomas with Hurts all day.
Yeah, me too.
Only because he's coming off of injury. I'm going with Breece Hall. I'm not a big fan of the offenses, but I'm going with Breece. Fresh legs, ready to go, ready to take some NFL hits, and maybe he'll slow down a little bit. But at least week 1, he'll probably hopefully have a good game. But it's so difficult.
Yeah, it is hard because, for the teams that they play on and stuff, I actually like Travis Etienne a little bit better because he's back with his quarterback. We saw the damage that they could do at Clemson, which hurts me to say. You guys know why behind me, if you're fans of the show. But those two, what they did, and they dominated, and for them to be together really starting that trend of reuniting players, like Burrow and Chase in Cincinnati, which I think is a strong move. I think we're going to see a lot more of it. So seeing those two together, Breece is definitely, he's going to be the guy, but he plays for the Jets, and that's my issue. As long as you play for the Jets, I'm going to question you. Not that I don't question you playing for Jacksonville as well. New coach, new system, got some new stuff. They got rid of AJ Brown, which is interesting, but nice rookies down there. I'm kind of I'm not going to say excited to see what Jacksonville is going to do, but I'm intrigued to see how they rebound from the Meyer debacle. And I'm giving Etienne the edge of
I'm going to write this down.
We should be writing these down. You're absolutely right. There you go. There's a prediction for you. Write that down. We're going to do a much better job of keeping the predictions, keeping you guys updated this year of what our predictions were. You heard it right here. Chris Fox is taking Etienne, and Root, there it is taking Breece Hall. So are we going to grade this? Well, we can probably do it on a week by week and a season basis, right?
Yeah.
So
We'll do a 30-second segment on I told you so.
Yeah, we'll put some. Yeah, I told you so. I love it. I told you so. So if you want to tell us so you guys asked us a question. What do you guys think, Andrew, Jordan? Write that down. That's a good one. Hashtag write that down. Aurora, Jordan, Thomas. Anybody else is in the room? What do you guys think?
Yeah,
ETN or Bruce
Jordan.
Hall?
Jordan, we're gonna need you to just take notes for the rest of the time and appreciate it. It's hard to get the
Just shoot
show.
us those. But so let's go back to the Roop and Hertz because again, I keep seeing that one all
Rupin
over the
hurts and
place.
me.
Yeah, Roop and Hertz, Tua and Hertz. Sorry, I just wrote down your name. We both are going Hertz, so let's back that up a little bit because I definitely seen a lot of Tua. I can understand why two fantastic wide receivers down there and Waddle and Hill, and then good running back, good tight end when he shows up. If you want to believe the Hill hype that he's given his quarterback, which I love to see, a guy sticking up for his quarterback like that. But I just think Hertz has, first of all, Hertz has the legs, so he's going to run. And he's got Devonta. He's got, a good wide receiver core, good wide receiver room, if you will. Running backs, but he can cover that end himself. I think fantasy points wise, I'm not so convinced that he's necessarily going to have like a better year than Tua. I think he will, but I can understand the argument there. But from a fantasy perspective, I think Hertz is going to get you more points.
The only reason why I say Hertz is the rushing upside. That's going to give you those extra points that you want, and of course maybe those rushing touchdowns. Tua, I think, is going to do a lot better than he has prior seasons. I think Tua is actually going to go off this year compared to the other ones. I just like the rushing upside. Tua seems like he's not going to rush as much, and that's just obviously opinion. But who knows what their offense is going to look like? And I think Miami's defense is going to be a little better.
Well, that was fun. A little hiccup there. Those things happen. Nice job.
You didn't like what I was saying? It's like delete.
I guess not. Yeah, they just kicked you
Out
out.
of here.
Okay, fine, forget it. The fact that the Eagles running back room is a mess is a huge positive for Hurts. Jordan says, and he's absolutely 100% right. It's just that's how it is. And I think that's why people are leaning Hurts in that argument. Again, it's not that Hurts is going to necessarily have a better season. It's just for fantasy core that's what you're going to get. I totally agree with that. Andrew, of course, agrees with Hurts. Doesn't believe in Tua's arm. I think Tua's arm is better than we think, but I mean the question mark is there and it's justified.
Yeah, I like it though. Is there any other matchups that you're hearing a lot about? I mean,
what do you mean?
Like they got the Tua and Hurts. Everybody's combining them. I mean,
well, one that a lot of people are just kind of having fun with is the Baker Brissett debate, right? So I mean, we're going to see that in week 1, which isn't really a good measuring stick because it'll be a week 1. I think Baker still wins that game because he's been starting longer and stuff, but it's a valid comparison. You on the surface you think, what do you mean, Baker? But let's look at the teams, right? So the players that Baker has is he's going to be able to succeed. And I know a lot of people are looking at Carolina receivers and of course CMC coming back. And I think that is going to be advantage, obviously, as long as CMC is in. So right off the bat, sure, Baker may be the obvious choice, but when you talk about the question marks and everybody has them with CMC, you can kind of understand why people ask the question. I don't think many people say Brissett, but you still see it just to kind of get the wheels rolling.
Yeah, I think I got the first pick in one of my leagues. Do I take CMC? Does any fans like do it? Do I do it? Do I take the risk? I mean,
yeah,
is he really going to be injured 3 years in a row? Like,
let us know what you guys think. Put it in the comments. Tell us, are you taking CMC number 1?
But I think with CMC healthy, at least for week 1, Baker does have the upside, and he came in there and won the job after a couple weeks of learning an offense and somebody already knew. So that says a lot. Or maybe they're just trying to sell tickets. Who knows?
Maybe. I have no doubt that it worked. I definitely think is going to sell tickets. So, I mean, we'll see. Give us your take on Zeke. Man, Zeke is so hard because I do think he's going to have a better season. I think he's set up for a better season. But then out of nowhere, you start hearing that Zeke wants to get out of Dallas. You hear that this might be his last year. Pollard obviously was getting more balls. I didn't really see that being an issue. I didn't think that Pollard was going to get more balls until now Zeke is possibly talking about leaving. What do you think about Zeke?
The thing with Zeke is, he used to be like that first rounder, maybe the second, and every year he's trending down. Pollard's getting more touches. Pollard almost has the same amount of, yards or points, however you want to look at it. Zeke is going to be that late mid rounder or something. I'm not eyeing him. There's too much question marks there.
I actually like him better this year than last year. I do.
Even though he lost all that weight last year and he was all hyped up.
Yeah,
and then,
I think that they want to do something. I think that they're motivated. I just, and I'm not a Cowboys fan, but I just feel like they're ready to roll, and that they got something to prove. Andrew wants to know, how long do we see CMC on the field? I say week 6. That's what I got.
If I draft him number 1 the whole season, they might sit him week 18.
Wait, what did you say?
I said,
say that again.
If I draft him, don't write this down. If I draft him, round 1, number 1, he's going to be on the field the whole season. So, but my luck, if I do draft him, he'll probably be out week 6. Yeah, unfortunately, and I'm sad about that. So I might have to stay away because I like CMC. He helped me win a league years back. So
David thinks Zeke is a bye-week replacement. I can get down with that. I can get down with that.
Yeah.
Great question here. Love this one. Will Jay Taylor repeat with another phenomenal fantasy season? So I have gone on record to say that Taylor will not be a top 3 back. As ADP 1 in the previous 10 years, we ran the numbers, we did some graphs, et cetera, got the stats for you, and realized that every running back predicted to go number 1 has never finished there over the past 10 years. And most of them, over half of them, actually fallen, gotten injured and fallen like the 50s and stuff like that. Only 2 have actually finished in the top 3 or top 5, excuse me. So statistically, the odds are definitely against him. I think he will repeat with another phenomenal fantasy season. I just don't think he's going to be top 3. I actually still have him in the top 5 or 6. I just don't think he's going to be in the top 3. So to answer your question, yes, I think he has another phenomenal fantasy season.
Yeah, he had a great season. Like you said, with those stats, I'm not really believing that he's going to repeat, but it will be a really good season. Injuries seem to hit running backs a lot. Hopefully we have a healthy season for everybody, but I'm thinking he's not going to be number 1, and CMC's probably not going to be number 1. I'm thinking if Derrick Henry can get on the roll that he did last time, he could have been the number 1 for sure. He was out for a long time and he was still number 1 for like weeks. So I kind of like Henry as well because he's just mowing people over, and I like to see him just crazy.
You know who I want to see healthy is Cook. Cook never finishes a season. I think he's got 10 games. I think the highest season is like 12 in like the past 5 years. He still finishes top 5. Good Lord, what happens to this guy actually finishes a whole season? Cook is people sleeping on Cook, and I know he's still going like top 5 round 1, and he should be, but people sleeping on Cook.
Yeah, take Madison if you have Cook, or even if
and it's worked for me every single
year.
Here's another big one. You asked for comparison, Sutton or Judy. So you got Russell Wilson slinging the ball, Patrick out, Sutton or Judy. Who's going to get them bowls?
They keep flip-flopping in the ADP. Sometimes it depends on which site you're looking at.
And so is that a sign that people don't know? Is that a sign of question mark, or is that a legit shift in mindset?
I would say who did good at training camp this day, and everybody's like, oh, I saw that one-handed catch or whatever somebody's doing, and then they just put all their cards on the table. Me personally, I'm leaning towards Sutton, but like I said, they're right there, 1A, 1B, somewhere in the draft. So, I mean, you probably can't go wrong with them.
I mean, I don't have a problem with it. I think either one is going to do good. Now, I don't think. So here we go. I
Uh-huh.
don't think that either one is like a wide receiver one. I don't think there are guys like that should be going in the couple round. I think you need to have other people on your roster before you bring Sutton or Judy in. That said, I'm good with them being the second
You wouldn't
second guy on
take
my
so
roster.
you wouldn't go like and make Sutton or Judy your wide receiver one and just kind of roll with it. I mean, you got Wilson
Probably
throwing
not.
to him,
Probably not.
thinner air up there. They can throw it farther.
Well, I mean, I get you. I just don't. I just think the ball distribution is going to be fairly even. I think that's why you see
Yeah.
them bounce back in fourth and ADP. And I really don't see either of them carrying enough points throughout the season to carry your team to be like, yes, I'm so glad I have that guy. I think there's plenty of people that are going to be able to replace
I'm
him,
gonna
and it's
write
just
that
because,
down, Chris.
yeah, go ahead, right? It's because of the ball distribution. Hey, everybody, send us your questions, send us your comments. We're just rolling with everything you guys send in. So ask your questions. Let's go. There's the address up at the top. Type that in the browser. Join us live on the show. We do that too. So you can put it in the chat, or you can come on live and talk with us here on Yards After the Catch. We're yakking football, everybody. Let's keep it going.
T Hall.
T Hall. I did see something. T Hall. I actually kind of like this tweet or this comment. Don't sleep on Pierce in Houston, big fast back, and they're definitely going to have to run the ball. And I agree, they're definitely going to have to run the ball. But the reason I like this comment is because it brings up Houston. First of all, you've got Cooks in Houston. Don't sleep on Cooks. He's going to put up numbers. Again, I'm not telling you to make him your wide receiver one, but he's good to have in that third wide receiver spot, that flex spot some weeks, things like that. But people are really liking the quarterback play coming out of there. And I think having a good quarterback in this type of situation where Cooks is really your main focus as a defense, I think having a good quarterback ups the running back value in this sense. Normally, if you have a mediocre quarterback, that's going to up your running back value. And you can say that, and that's what I'm saying, is you don't have an elite quarterback. And so I think having a good quarterback who can still get Cooks the ball and bring Cooks value, that still is going to help Houston running backs.
Yeah, I think Cooks is there. See, they let somebody leave and go over to Cleveland because they believed in the quarterback that they have. I think he's going to take another step up this year. And I think, with Pierce there, he didn't even play recently because they're like, we know what he's doing. No, we know what he can do. And everybody, on Sleeper is talking about, Mac is going to be the guy. And I'm like, this might be a committee. I don't know what's going to
100%.
happen. The thing is I really like both of them. I really like Pierce because he's the young guy and he's coming out, and I'm like, maybe he can take over and just, be that workhorse. It's just too many questions right now. And really, you just have to take him at one of your last picks in the draft or wherever it ends up, depending on the size of your league, and wait a few weeks to see who's the actual number one guy, because you're not going to see that preseason.
No, definitely not. And that's the mystery there. And that's the issue with taking any of the talent out of Houston other than Cooks. But even so, you got to believe the quarterback's going to give him the ball.
Oh, that's a good one.
Here we go. We like this one. Jordan's bringing it today. Does Pacheco take CH's job at some point? I'll let you go first because I always end up taking it first. Go ahead.
We know what CEH brings to the table. I want Pacheco to take over the job because where you're drafting him, like after the 10th round, maybe the 13th round or something.
Nobody's watching it.
Nobody's watching this guy, and I hope he takes it over, because if you can get that guy with one of your last picks right before you get your kicker, defense, whatever you do, I'm telling you, to get an RB1 on Kansas City that late in the draft, I mean, that's winning league, or at least making to the playoffs, barring injuries, of course.
Yeah, you can write that down. Thanks, Jordan. On that one, on this one, I agree. Pacheco, I do think
Great
Pacheco
question.
takes CEH's job. And what's what really makes that question great is the fact that nobody's watching it. Very few people watching. That's really smart homework right there. Because people are, you're just looking at the list. You're going down your little list. Oh yeah, I need to pick CEH.
Jordan
You're gonna.
can't be in a league with me because he's got some really good smarts,
He's
good
got
questions.
some got
He's
some
doing
good
homework.
questions.
Yeah,
A little
yeah.
scary.
Don't send me invites.
Yeah, I do think Pacheco takes CEH's job. I think actually fairly early on. Good question here from Andrew. Do you see any team's roster taking Jimmy G should he become available? 100% I see it because while I don't think Jimmy G is like a phenomenal talent, he's got starting time. He's got some ability. He's shown some flashes, and he's still better than some teams starting quarterbacks. So I definitely think he gets in there. Bandy from Fourth and Flex, you guys know him, you guys love him. He predicts Jimmy G going up to Seattle. I think it's actually a really smart prediction.
Yeah, I mean, you could. It just the problem is this contract and the money. Like that's the reason why a lot of players don't move right away is they have to take pay cuts because they're going to a new team or something like that in a trade. Baker Mayfield went through that. He took a pay cut just to get out of Cleveland. So Jimmy G's got to like kind of suck it up, pull the Tom Brady thing, and say, I'm all for the team. Take some of my millions because I could live the rest of my life without getting paid anymore. But he's going to probably have to take a pay cut to go somewhere else. And it looks like Lance is going to be the number one guy there, which seems to be the growing trend. But
a lot of people high on Lance this year. A lot of people high. I'm starting to become a believer just because so many people are talking about him. Like they're starting to convince me. We're gonna hit this one real quick. Packers win the Super Bowl? No, Nick. No, the Packers are not winning the Super Bowl. I'm sorry. I know you're a fan. Packers are not winning the Super Bowl.
No, you can't lose your best player and win them.
You can hashtag write that one down all day. I got no problem with that one. I'm sorry, Packers fans. I'm sorry. You're not getting.
Yeah, even the Vegas odds are probably pretty bad on that one too.
Now, I will say that, like, if you want to throw a hundy on those odds and we end up being wrong, you can laugh at us all the way to the bank. DK Metcalf or DJ Moore? This is an easy one for me. So many people high on DJ Moore. I mean, okay, he's the only possible answer to who's the wide receiver one in Carolina. But the problem is when you ask the question, who's the wide receiver one? Yeah, you got to pick DJ Moore, but who's going to get more receptions in Carolina? Well, it's going to be CMC until he goes down, and hopefully he doesn't. So for me, DK Metcalf or DJ Moore, even though Drew Lock is flipping the ball out there, I'm still going to take DK Metcalf for me. I'm not going to draft either of them. I'll tell you that right now, but that's who I'm taking.
If Jimmy G goes up to Seattle, DK Metcalf, I'm about it right now. I'm staying with DJ Moore. Just for the love of Mayfield. I mean, I'm an OU fan, so I'm already biased. So that's probably why.
Okay. I mean, we get your bias. You want to draft like a fan? Go ahead and
yeah, the number one fan mistake in drafting.
Right. Never draft like a fan. But no, I get the argument for DJ Moore, especially in this scenario. I mean, when you put those two head to head, then obviously I think most people are going to take DK Metcalf. If Russell was still in Seattle, we wouldn't even be asking this question. But the fact that it's Drew Lock, I mean, let's flip that question a little bit and say, Drew Lock or Baker Mayfield. I'm taking Baker Mayfield. So then why am I taking DK Metcalf? I get what you're saying, but I'm still taking DK.
Is Geno going to take over Drew Lock? I mean,
it's so scary to say that that's possible. Like, I mean, that's legit. It could happen.
Geno's been there a minute. I mean, he
knows the system. He can play in it. Geno's just got that Jet stigma. It's the whole thing about the Jets are such a curse, man. I mean, once you play for the Jets, you're just always going to be a Jet, and you're always going to be labeled an underperformer, and it's kind of not fair, but at the same time, it's kind of true.
Yeah. Andrew says more over Metcalf due to QB comparisons, and I agree. You got to have a QB that can get it to him, or according to some people, think Mayfield just overthrowing the whole time, but OBJ is happy for Mayfield. I think they just want it out of Cleveland.
Yeah, I mean, not. Oh, you're not in Cleveland anymore. Hey, we can be friends. I get it.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
good for you, bud. Like, now, because Baker had to stick up for his team. Baker had to stick up for his organization. At least
Mhm.
not say anything, and silence his agreements. And now that he's out of Cleveland and he saw what Cleveland did and was able to kind of speak up, and say, okay, this is actual bullshit now. You bringing in Watson, paying all this money to this guy who's under investigation for these things, who's probably not going to play, who hasn't played in at least one season, hasn't played in a whole season, and you want to just ditch me and pay that guy $230 million. I mean, that's just a kick in the nuts and a slap in the face at the same time. And it's not cool. And I'm glad that Baker got out at least.
Yeah, I'm really happy about it. Baker's probably over there. Thanks, OBJ. Tell your father that I appreciate the video that he posted to help me stir the pot to get out of here. And I do appreciate it because it
Yeah.
seems like they're really good friends. So it kind of makes me laugh. I would love to see them hanging out and see how it really go.
Here we go. So an unpopular opinion, Jets. So you're saying Jets are better than the Browns? Again, I get it. I totally understand it. We could debate it, and maybe we will. Jets are better than the Browns. Well, because okay, so let's take this down. Our quarterback situation, Browns or Jets?
Next year, Browns.
Next year. I told you right there. I'll take the Browns this year. Running back situation, Chubb Hall.
Chubb, the Browns.
All day. I'm taking Chubb all day. I know Hall is going to be awesome. You can prove me wrong. Right? Hashtag write that down. I'm taking Chubb over Brees Hall all day. Wide receiver room, a lot of options there. And take the quarterback out of it. Wide receivers for the Browns versus the Jets.
Browns.
Yeah. So you got to say the Browns are better. You got to say the Browns are better. You just have to.
Whose defense is better? Browns.
Browns. Yeah, definitely 100%. So I'm going Browns.
Yeah.
So yeah, it is an unpopular opinion. Maybe it'll pay off. You can hashtag don't write that down for us, but Andrew's in there and says the Jets are going to be better than the Browns. Maybe they will be.
And Aurora says I'm bitter about the Browns. So sure.
Yeah, I get that.
I'm bitter too. Fan. Yeah. No, we were big Browns fans. No longer. We're done. You can't do that.
So you are on record as jumping ship on the Browns.
Yeah.
Has Aurora officially jumped ship on the Browns as well, or is she just saying that because that's what you're saying?
No. Here's the thing. I threw away my cooking apron with the Browns already. That's already in the trash. I love the Browns at first because that's where Baker Mayfield went. They always have fans that are really diehard, and I love that. But you don't have a upper management brass type people making decisions like they've done. And it was too hard to swallow. I said, I've been a diehard fan for 30 years. So no way am I going to be associated with that anymore. And I was even trying to get people that I know that are Browns fans, like, dude, why would you still be a fan of those type of moves? That's terrible management. So
terrible management. So it was just, you can't do that. You can't.
Yeah. So I was like, you can't be a Browns fan after that. Maybe in like 5 or 10 years, but even then it's kind of like pointless, back to square one. And I feel like it's like a Babe Ruth thing where, gets sent away and now they're just cursed for the next 100 years, whatever it is. So sorry, Browns.
Yeah, sorry, Browns. This is a good question right here. I like this one, of course, because I'm a Steelers fan as well. Who starts in Pittsburgh? Like, to me, it's Trubisky. Trubisky will get the start. He won't finish the season probably, which is kind of unfortunate, because I really do like rookies to kind of learn and sit on the bench and get in games that are already gone. But it's the reality of football. It's the reality of job. Tomlin's going to make the right decision, regardless. But I think Biskey definitely gets the start at least. Does he get the finish? I don't know, but I think he definitely gets the start.
Yeah, I mean, you got the Oklahoma State quarterback over there in the rotation too. You got Kenny Pickett. I really like the smarts of Pickett. We all know what the other two can do. We've seen them in the league. Honestly, Pickett changed a college rule by doing his little fake slide. And so I'm saying, like, this guy's thinking on the run. So I'm saying, yeah, I think we might be right. He might not win the starting job, but a couple of losses and a couple of bad plays, he's going to be put in third, fourth quarter and then just take over the job. And I hope he finishes finishes the season, finishes strong. I'm really looking forward to that.
Like they didn't pay Trubisky so much money that they didn't put him on a 1-year deal. They didn't pay him so much that they can't not play him and stuff like that. So I really think that's probably just an easy call right there. That Trubisky at least gets it. Carolina Love is about to build up, and then for Aurora, Carolina. Oh, because of Baker. Okay, I was like, what? I got you. Now I got it. Sorry, a little slow today. I like it. So it's going to be interesting seeing you guys in Panthers gear if that's how it's going to be.
It's weird because I was like,
Are you? I mean, are you going to do that? Or are we going that deep? Are we getting
I
Panthers?
I mean, I imagine. I mean, now I have to come over and visit, and we're going to a
Mhm.
Panthers game. I just
100%. Let's go to
but
the Panthers Steelers game. T
yeah, I
Hall,
can't
you're
can't do
invited
that.
too. Let's do it.
Can't
Let's
do
go.
that.
Nope, you got to go. It's
No,
going to happen.
I like the
Hey,
Steelers too. So
hey, everybody. Thanks for joining us on Yards After the Catch. Keep the questions coming. We're loving it. You can actually follow that little web address up there and join us live on the show. Don't forget to check out the channel for the trenches. We got a lot of contestant intros and stuff going to start loading on the channel. Plus, if you're subscribed over there at Armchair Athletics or Yards After the Catch, you're eligible for all our giveaways. We actually got one going right now. If you follow us at Armchair Alpha on Twitter, we got a little giveaway going on right now. Go check it out. I missed one. I'm coming back, T Hall, because I do want to get to your question. I pulled this one up. Is Allen Robinson worth his current ADP? Man, so look, I really like Allen Robinson this year. The problem is, and I think this is what people are overlooking. Everybody's very excited about Allen Robinson, and I think they should be. I think he's a phenomenal talent. He's found himself on a good team. This, to me, is the issue. So the issue to me, just like I said with Judy and Sutton, so you can't use the argument on Judy and Sutton about distribution and the ball getting passed around and not do the same thing for the Rams. And I think that is where the hype might be a little much on Robinson. It's just because Kupp is there. Kupp is going to be getting balls. ADP average is 28, wide receiver 28, overall 62, so about the 5th round. And I think that's about right. I think about Allen Robinson going in the 5th round is about right, 5th or 6th round. So ADP I think is accurate, but I think you just to kind of steal your tagline, I think you have to temper your expectations about how much he's really going to do for you with Kupp on the other side.
yeah, Kupp's still the number one guy there. So he's the second wide receiver on the team. So he's going to give you second wide receiver points. And then once in a while, he'll give you those great games where they're just double teaming Kupp, but they can't take them both out of the game. So, you'll win some, you lose some. He's not going to give you zeros every week. I don't believe he would. I mean,
No.
But then Stafford's got a little arm issue right now. So you have to temper that. I think Allen Robinson's going too soon with his star quarterback heading into the season, maybe a little banged up, and that's not something you want. So I think that Allen's going a little too soon with that news of his quarterback.
I think his quarterback. I think Stafford's going to be okay. I mean, the way they heal these guys.
When you're drafting, you want to stay away from all those real big question marks like what's going to happen. You lose Stafford, Allen and Kupp there's going to be some issues.
I mean, look, you saw it with Seattle last year when Russell, had that gnarly finger injury, and all your Seattle points just went down the drain. It happens every year. You saw it in Carolina when CMC goes down. You see it in Tennessee when Henry goes down. Injuries will kill you, and especially at the quarterback position. So many teams try to gear themselves up by having that next man up, that second person, but there's just not that. There's not 32 backup quarterbacks, let alone 32 starting quarterbacks in the league. Speaking of quarterbacks, T Hall, is Tannehill still the man in Tennessee? Willis had a great season. Willis has had an amazing preseason. I really like Willis. I'm very high on Willis. I think Tannehill knew his days were numbered as soon as Willis got drafted. They definitely brought him in for a reason. And I think the big thing with that is when you bring in a quarterback, is he worth the hype? And I think Willis is one of those that is.
I drafted Willis on my dynasty team. Tannehill is going to be the man. He is going to start. But man, Willis is going to take that over. I don't know if it's going to be this season, but if Tannehill ends up not driving down the field a couple times and they end up with a couple of L's in a row, they're going to just work in Willis, get him some little more action. And I mean, he looks like Lamar Jackson out there, just being a star and running. And then he's got a little bit of Mahomes throwing sidearm. Man, Willis is going to be that sleeper that, oh, he's in the game now and you need a quarterback in a bye week or something. Might as well. I mean, I'm going to be watching for him all season for sure.
Yeah, Willis is definitely going to play. I'll tell you that. Does he get the starting job? I don't know. That's up to the coach, but he's 100% going to play. Andrew asks, best quarterback, wide receiver stack to draft. The best one? Like, there's so many. I still like this. Regardless, I know you might not. I like the Stafford Cup scenario. I like Herbert and pick your one, although I'm a Williams fan on that one. So we talk about that, Keenan Allen or Williams. I like Williams better and always will. What you got the Trey Lance and Debo. You got Brady and pick your receiver, probably Brady Evans. There's so many great stacks out there.
You're right. There's so many to choose from, but then which ones can you get at a decent price really is what you're kind of going for.
That's the question. It's not the best ones. There's lots of best ones. Which one can you actually get? That's really the question.
Yeah, without reaching too far or something. You're right. There's too many to name. I'd really have to, because I'm not prepared to say, well, you can get this one in this round and this one in this round.
I think you can get it. I think if you believe in Devonta Adams, I definitely think you can get that one. Yeah, I think that's probably the easiest one to get. If you want a sleeper scenario, I kind of like the Lazard Rogers scenario.
Why are you in my head right now? I was just going to say that.
Because that's what we do, man. That's why you're the best co-host in all the land, because you are right there before I ever get there.
From you, I'm going to snipe Lazard and Rogers.
You're not getting them. You're not getting them.
You have to get them in the fourth round.
I love this question. What preseason game had a breakout player that could become starter in fantasy football? This is an easy one for me. If you have an answer, I'll let you go first. If not, I'll definitely take it so you can think.
Yeah, go ahead and take it.
Yeah, I love Pickett. Out of man, when he can jam that DB and knocked him on his butt, that was it. I was good. I was sold. That's all I had to see. That's all I had to see was that tenacity and see a wide receiver knock his DB to the ground. I was sold. He is definitely one of my late round looks. He's definitely on my rookie squad now. And he was probably there anyway, but he moved way up just with that single play. That's mine.
Yeah, we've talked about, Pickett and, all this running back, quarterback stuff. And I like that one, but I'm going to go with Dameon Pierce, running back in Houston. I really think he could take that job and really help out his quarterback, or even if it's by committee. But he showed that he's got some burst in him, that big boy attitude. So, yeah. I mean, he could really become the starter. I really think he could.
100%.
AFC, I really hope he does.
I mean, I do too. I mean, I don't see why. Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get to as many questions as we can, guys. Keep them coming. We love it. Thank you so much. Who wins the AFC West? How many teams do they send to the playoffs? All right, just so you don't have to get it off the top of your head. We got the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Raiders, and the Chargers. And that's actually a really great question because, look, everybody's high on the Broncos. Now that Wilson's there, everybody's high on the Chiefs with Mahomes, obviously, and Kelsey. Everybody's high on the Raiders with the Carr-Adams combo. And, of course, everybody's high on the Chargers for obvious reasons. Every starter there, Allen, Williams, Eckler, Herbert, so it's a dogfight, and who comes out? I think one team goes. I'm gonna answer that question right there because I think everybody's just gonna get in each other's way, step on each other, and I think one team goes from the AFC West. Who wins it? I'll finish it out for you. I think the Chargers win it.
Okay. I really hope nobody's watching right now, so I can say this.
Write this down.
If you're drafting, pick all the players in this group because I feel like it's going to be just shootout after shootout.
Right.
Um, they're probably going to, split the wins, one win, one loss. They'll win at home or whatever, and they'll lose on the road. I do like Chargers a little bit more, only because Mahomes lost a piece. Raiders are moving up, but they were barely a contender last year, even with their overtimes. And Denver's going to step it up, but he might need another year to kind of get everything rolling over there. So I think
And I mean, he is the old, he's getting up there. I mean, he's been playing a while.
let Russ cook though. I hope he does. I hope he just on everybody and it's just 3-4 touchdowns a game. I'd love to see it, all to Judy or, the other guy that I was hoping to grab and now everybody knows about. But
I'm sure the popular opinion is that they're going to send two, that someone's going to win the wild card spot as well. And I mean, don't get me wrong, I get the reason for it. It's just, I really think it's a situation where they all kind of step on each other's shoes. A lot of splits in the head-to-head matchups and stuff like that. And I just think they end up making it impossible for two teams to make it. Who's your pick to win it though?
Okay. The one that's going to get that little extra one step in, is it going to be Kansas City or the Raiders?
Man, that's so hard. That's so hard. Why do you do this to me? You tell me who's going to win the West.
We already know. We already know Chargers. You got Kansas City and Raiders.
Okay, you tell me who's going to win the West, and I'm going to tell you Kansas City or Raiders because I need to think on it.
I think so. Chargers win, and the Raiders are going above Kansas City this
So you're
year.
taking the Chargers too?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're taking the Raiders.
All that hate last year, I gotta show some love.
I am so torn on that. Okay,
just because I want to be different, I love Kansas City.
And I want to flip it. I want to say Kansas City just so that we're different. But what it comes down to me is the running back room, and I give that edge to the Raiders. So I also am going to have to take the Raiders.
Really?
I'm sorry. I know. I'm sorry, viewers. I know it doesn't really give you that controversy that you wanted. I really want to be the controversy guy, but I can't do it here. We're trying to catch up, guys. Is Amir Abdullah this year's Cordell Patterson? I think Abdullah does well. I don't know. I don't think he's this year's Patterson. I'm going to say no.
Amir Abdullah, never heard of her. No.
There you go. Jordan Thomas thinks that they send 3 in the West. That would be crazy. I just think they're all too good to do that. Nick wants to know who wins the NFC North. That's actually a good question too. I think the AFC West is like really the one that I'm watching because all those teams are so strong on paper. So we'll see how it actually comes out. But who wins the NFC North? So it's kind of a reverse scenario and where everybody's good in the AFC West. The NFC North, a little more questionable because you got the Bears, you got the Lions, you got the Packers who lost all those pieces, and the Vikings. I mean, on paper, I think you have to say the Vikings, but you got Aaron Rodgers. I agree with the opinion that the Bears are going to be one of the worst records in the league, unfortunately, but I think it comes down to the Vikings and Packers, and I think the Vikings get it done.
It's hard to go against Aaron Rodgers. Back-to-back MVP. He's going to get it done. It's the next man up. He's always had, the Jerry Jeudy, Randall Cobb, Devontae Adams. He had some guy there. So when you're drafting this year, choose one of those. What is it? You got Watkins and Lazard and Cobb, which is also injured, but his safety net. Aaron Rodgers is going to have a guy there. So I don't think they're out of it, but I think watching what Justin Jefferson's doing and how elite he's been, and everybody's quiet on Cousins, even though he's quietly just tossing touchdowns all season long, I think the Vikings can get it done because, they're just – I think it's time. I think the Vikings are there.
There you go. So 2 Vikings. It's hard when you're like this like-minded to go against each other. I know we do it during the season, but we're still in preseason, so we're allowed to pick the same things right now. So amazing questions. Keep them coming, guys. If you want to be on the show, just follow that link there, but keep the questions coming as far as the show goes, because you guys are asking amazing questions. And we love every single one. We love to answer them. Go over to Twitter at armchairalpha.com. We got a little giveaway going on over there, and a really super nice draft grade team up with Fourth and Flex. You won't believe whose drafts we graded, but you definitely know who it is, and it's actually pretty cool. Roop, there it is. He saw it. He got to do it too, and he was really surprised. Who we were actually looking at. So it's pretty cool at Armchair Alpha. It's also up on the YouTube channel. Go over there and subscribe. The Armchair Athletics on YouTube. Subscribe and be in the drawing for great giveaways and contests. All right, back to your guys' questions. What do you guys want to know? T. Hall wants to know, will Debo still be the same player since he moved over there and not doing the double duties? I think Debo's a fantastic wide receiver. I think he's definitely going to put up points. Again, we go to ball distribution. I think Ayuk's going to steal some of those balls. I think Ayuk is going to be a lot better than people think. And the reason I think that is because of Trey Lance. When you see injuries happen at the quarterback position and you see the backup quarterback come in, what you also see is the wide receiver 3, wide receiver 4 excel in those weeks, because those are the guys that those backup quarterbacks work with. Ayuk having the injury and being put in that second, third wide receiver position because San Francisco was kind of all over the place last year. I promise you, Trey Lance and Ayuk developed a relationship. They've thrown a lot of balls to each other. And with Trey Lance coming in, I think it's going to take a little bit away from Samuels. I think Samuel still be wide receiver 1. I still think he finishes at the top, but I think Ayuk is going to take more than people are thinking and put up better numbers, which is going to take away from Debo. So from the fantasy level, no, I do not think Debo will be the same level. Counter that, I mean, again, level that with, I would still 100% have Debo on my team all day.
I will not have Debo on my team because he's going too soon, because his numbers are going to drop from last year. So he's not going to have the same depth, if you will. So yeah, he's just going too early for me when I know his numbers are going to go down. At least that's what I'm saying. But also, didn't I say Lance was like going to win somebody's league?
So you
Last
did.
show, I think.
Yeah, I mean,
yeah. So
it can happen.
I might be full of what right now, but I can't take Debo where he's going. I can't.
He is going high. I said I would definitely have him on my team, but you're right.
Oh yeah,
where he's going, I don't know if I would. It's going to
I don't
depend on
believe
who's
he's
on
going
the
to get
board.
those stats again.
Yeah, I honestly. Never mind. I'm not going to say that. We got too many drafts. I will come back to say that. No, that's not fair to you guys. That's not fair to you guys. I will throw it out. I started the sentence. I will finish. I will take Ayuk over Debo this year. Yes, I said it. Write that down. I think Ayuk is
because
going to
you're getting
finish.
him a couple rounds later. Yeah,
well, I think Ayuk is going to. I agree with Jordan, and I put it up there a second ago. I think Ayuk actually could outperform Debo in the long run. Over the course of the season. I'm not saying he will, I'm saying he could. So I'm not contradicting my statement about Debo, but I definitely think that he could. There you go. I'm willing to, you got to risk it for the biscuit, and that's a risk I'm willing to take. Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon, who finishes higher? It's actually a great question. And you say AJ Dillon's a backup quarterback, but he put up phenomenal numbers. Running back put up phenomenal numbers last year. It's a great question. Which way do you lean on this one?
Aaron Jones. It just, I'm. How many didn't he get like 4, 5, 6 touchdowns? Or no, it's almost in one game. Like, who does that? So I like Aaron.
And why did he do that? Why did he get that? I'm not countering. I'm agreeing with you. Why did he get that many things? It's because Rodgers loves him.
Yeah,
and when he's on the field, he's going to look for him. No, it's like
Aaron Jones is the number 1 wide receiver on the Packers. Write that down, Jordan.
I don't think he finishes that way. I still have a lot of love for Lazard. I know you getting tired.
Yeah,
hate me putting that out there. Aaron Jones did finish running back number 28, so it's still far enough down the line. But you had reasons for that to happen. AJ Dillon finished running back sorry, 27. This is as far as touchdowns. That's not overall. I'm talking about touchdowns. So 28 and 27 right there. It's a committee situation, right? I mean, do you really want to get into a committee situation? I hate committee situations, and
Yeah.
I'm not going to do it. That's not going to be me.
Uh,
But you asked me Aaron Jones or AJ Dillon. I agree. I'll take Aaron Jones, but it's going to be close. I just think Aaron Jones pulls
Value
it out.
wise in a draft, Dylan. But
Value wise, yeah, no, I'll give you that. Yeah, 100%. Dubs making a splash 100. I love if you're on a dynasty team and you get a chance to take Dubs, you better freaking grab him because I think Dubs a fantastic dynasty player. To have on your team, take him late, take him in a taxi spot. If you're doing dynasty right, he's actually probably going to go pretty early. Grabbing those young guys that are going to keep you near the top for years to come. So I
I'm
like
kind of
Dubs.
new at the dynasty thing, and it's I just did my very first draft a couple months ago, and it was hard to figure out when to take the young guys and when to take the win now team. And they're always like, do the balance, and watching all these other podcasts to see what they do, and really, it's way harder than just a redraft league because it's a little bit tougher for drafting and everything.
Yeah, 100%. Hey guys, look, we really appreciate you guys coming in. You guys killed it tonight. Join us next Tuesday. Come on back, everybody. Come on back. Bring your friends, bring your questions, bring your comments. You guys were awesome tonight. Thank you so much. Let's see what we heard from we heard from Nick, we heard from Jordan, we heard from Aurora. Who are we getting? We heard from David, Andrew. Like so many great questions, so many great comparisons, just so much great fantasy insight you guys got out of us today and out of you guys as well. You guys make the show, and we loved having you guys around. Please come back.
Yeah, you guys killed it. I want to give it a shout out to all the fans that showed up today. That was really phenomenal. I mean, I would clap, but I want to like get all in you guys' ears and faces and whatnot. But I got one question before we head out.
Sure.
Your first time, your very first league, fantasy football.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember how many wins you got?
No clue. Like probably like 3 if I was lucky. It was horrible. This is mid 90s. Everybody had to be in the room to do it. I think we were all like at a bar or something like that. And there's no auto draft situation there. For like you said, first time. So I'm taking big names from the previous year. I got no clue. I'm reading all the magazines back then, and I must have
How
had.
old is you?
I must have had probably like the first 5 years I played, I probably had 15 sheets in front of me because you had one for each position, the quarterback, running back. Then you had the overall sheet. Then you had the by team sheet
Uh-huh. I
that
love
showed
that
who was
one.
going to be the top guy per team and all that. And really, what you do is you just kind of outthink yourself
Andrew
because you
got
got too
3.
much info. Yeah, you just way too much information and that contradicts itself because you're not evaluating the same time. I did horrible
So
my
just so
first
you
couple
know,
years.
you had 3, Andrew had 3, I had 4, but I was also 0 and 10 to start the season, and I wrecked some people's playoffs and the seeding. So it kind of made me laugh because they were like, I kept going on the waiver wire trying to pick people up and didn't really know what I was doing. And I was like, oh, okay, I finally getting it. And I was like, I sucked that first year.
It was
It
so
was terrible. It
bad.
was absolutely terrible. So
Embarrassed.
maybe we'll get into that next week of the first timers and everybody new to the fantasy football scene. We can help you out with that. I mean,
100%.
it's
And
yeah. Go ahead.
no, yeah, I 100%. I love it. Because I think everybody's kind of looking for that help when you're that early on. So we'll definitely do that for you guys. You guys got drafts you want us to grade? Just shoot them to us. We'll grade them. We'll film it up, and you guys can keep it forever. The yards after the catch graded my draft, and they were absolutely dead wrong. No, I'm just kidding. We'll give you a good, honest look at it, and let you know how you did. What else, man? We got college chaos coming up. Like the trenches start soon. Boy, you guys are gonna want to see the trenches. You've never seen anything like this. It's more than a fantasy league. It's a fantasy competition. 12 teams. Everybody's going head to head for the first 11 weeks, and then people got to take the train. People start going home, and eventually you get up with one person winning on the trenches this season. You'll be able to catch it on the channel, you'll be able to catch it on the Facebook, and you'll find exclusive content over there on the Armchair Athletics channel. So go subscribe today. Hashtag the trenches. You can do that all day. Thanks for coming out one last time, guys. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for all the support. Go subscribe, go follow, go find us, tweet us. We're everywhere. You guys have a great week. Happy fantasy football and everybody. I always give you one last chance to take us home.
I'm still loving the fans. I do appreciate it. Hashtag trenches over there with Andrew, Nick's hashtag me. Hey, do you, Nick? Thank you, Aurora. Everybody else that showed up. I can't thank you guys enough. Come back next week, the week after that, and all season long, because we're going to be answering these questions. And maybe even on a Sunday too, when I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to do with my lineup. Maybe I'll ask you a question. What are you feeling? What did you read? Where did you go listen to something? So we're going to do this as a team. We're going to win as a team. So come back and join us. Go ahead and take us out, Chris.
Hey, Superflex 20. That's all I'm going to leave you with. Superflex 20 on manscaped.com is going to save you 20%. Catch the trenches. Follow us. Have a great week, everybody. Yards after the catch. We love you guys. We'll see you next time.